About everything from recruitment to national security, and you're talking about the situation in the North Rift. Yes. And the fact that, in fact, the question I was going to ask you is, once KDF leaves there, what's going to happen? But you're explaining there's some bases that are going to be set up.
In fact, we are not leaving, and people are telling us not to leave. And because, you know, the Constitution doesn't allow us to say they are dealing with an internal conflict, once we are done with our business, we have to get out. Mm-hmm. Now, so that we don't come back again from very far, we want to establish our training camps and our bases in the north. Like Turkana, Lodwar town, we are putting up, in fact, a whole FOB for our Air Force wing. So that we have Manda, we have Wajir, we have Turkana in key areas.
And FOB is forward operating base?
Yes, yes. Just like the way we have over 14 along the border with Somalia. But if you allow me, today there was an incident in Garissa where I think 6 guys were shot and killed. Yeah. I really want to send my condolences to the families of the bereaved. But I want to ask the security agents in Garissa, the multi-agents, that they have a responsibility to bring the perpetrators to book. We have heavily invested in our security sector, whether it is the intelligence, whether it is the KDF, whether it is the police, whether it is the criminal investigation department. We can't have a situation where a gang, a group, whether they are clan militia, whether they are terrorists, whether they are armed groups, come and kill 6 people, and then you are the head of that area, and you are not telling us where are the people who committed the crime. Mm. But let me come back to North Rift, because we realize that in all the successive governments, the solution they had for the insecurity in North Rift was short-term, short-lived. They go fix it, and they come back. Then they leave the area. This government administration, the president said, we must fix this place, and we must fix it for the long term. What do? All these spaces you are seeing, the roads are bad. There are no provisions of water, the dams, the boreholes. There's children who don't go to school because of even drought and lack of food. Yeah. You know, there are good places you can do irrigation in the Kerio Valley. So there is a whole package that has been passed by the National Security Council, a Marshall Plan, with an initial budget of about $2 billion. Now we are reconstructing and renovating and building new schools. Today, if you go to Capedo High School, for example, you'll see the numbers have increased. All the primary schools that were closed 6 months ago, you can go and check. Students are coming back, and we are providing food. So even under the Marshall Plan, the schools we are going to build, which mainly will be boarding schools, government will provide food from January to December. So that as the pastoralists go around with their goats and sheep and camels, the children can remain in school. But one thing I want you to take it home, Jeff. This administration under President Ruto will fix, among many other issues, will fix the insecurity in North Rift and pick this day and this time.
I will follow it up with you next time we meet. Yes. Okay, let me ask you another question.
And I'll share with you that document, that Marshall Plan.
Thank you.
Once the cabinet approves next week. And I'm sure it's going to be a big story in the country.
Yeah. Yes. Lamu. Why is Lamu so difficult to pacify?